start this episode with a story, and it's going to be a very interesting story. And this story is about love. A woman who thought she'll never find love, but she found love that she had prayed for, hoped for, wished for, and she thought that was, that was it. There was nothing else, coming along, and it's going to disrupt that kind of love. And when you fall in love, you think you're there now, but that's not the real story. The real story is like when you get love, that's when you have to protect it, nurture it, and there's so many things. And if you don't have a partner who reciprocates that or understands that you're in this together, it will never work out. So that's it. So let me give you a story. So this story is about a lady called Victoria. I've changed the name so that I protect the privacy of the person, because some people might know me and they might think, oh God, that story relates to her, to this other person. So it's Victoria, and I think I have a close circle of friends, and they're very private in their matters, but my friend was like, please share my story because you're starting this, let's start from here. And I was very grateful for that permission. So Victoria comes out from a relationship, and Victoria is very independent. She has her own thing, she's working, life is sorted. So she's coming out from a relationship that really made her question love and question if relationships were for real, because she invested so much in her previous relationship, and she had stayed for that relationship for a very long time before she had the grace to walk out of it and choose herself. So Victoria is out here after a few months of separation, happy. And the beauty about Victoria is that she never breaks the boundaries. No, not breaking boundaries, like she never breaks relationship, even if they are bad. She'll always keep a open line of communication, but reasonable line of communication. So even with her ex, she's always maintained a clean line of communication, whereby if there's support needed, if there's candid conversation about serious stuff, she always has that door open. And there's that respect that they have, and even the family of the ex, they keep that line of communication with her open. And so she's a reasonable person. So Victoria has always been like that. So Victoria moves on happy. She meets a young guy, younger than her. Great, everything ticks, but she decided to quit that relationship because she felt she was older than the guy, and the guy didn't live in the same town as her. So it was a little bit of a struggle trying to put everything together, meeting and all that. So she felt like she's doing so much and she doesn't want that. And her career just skyrocketed in terms of she'd gotten a promotion, and she didn't want, and she was focusing so much of her time to her work, so she didn't want something that was going to pull her back. So she quits her relationship and then solo for a number of months, and then she meets Alex. Alex is a great person when you look at him on the outside, but let me not start with the but but I'm there, but anyway, Alex ticks all the boxes for Victoria, going out, everything. And then after a few months, Victoria starts asking a few questions. Where do you work, what do you do if you're not if you're not employed. But Alex is very shifty, starts giving false story about how he works for some production company, media company, doing production and everything. So Victoria checks it out, finds out there's nothing like that, And I can say that was a first red flag that Victoria should have seen. But because she's looking for love and she has hope for love, she decided to continue with the relationship. She doesn't, the funny thing, she doesn't tell Alex, I found out you're not, she just lets him run with it. And then come something else she noticed, whenever they used to go out, she's the one who used to come out of pocket in terms of paying for everything. And she didn't mind because she had her own money, and she thought, well, I'm doing it out of love and everything. Red flag number 2. I'm of the school of, you need to share responsibilities. So that's where I come from. And somebody who's not sharing responsibilities, and the two of you in it, then something is wrong. So she let that go also. So the other thing was, the guy asked her if they can move in together. Red flag number 3. But she didn't see that. She saw love. She was like, this guy wants to build a future with me. And there's nothing wrong with that. But he was moving into her place. And that's where, you draw the line and you start thinking, what are these red flags that I'm seeing that I'm not actioning on, and I'm not asking about actively and everything. So yeah, Alex moves in. The first few months, it's great. Everything is, happy-go-lucky. They're going out. Dee still, like, she's still footing the bills. And Victoria, she's happy. She's gotten somebody she wanted. And then after a few months, when Victoria is tired of, she's feeling like the pressure of everything is falling, paying rent, paying for buying groceries, anything that falls in the house she does, having a man who's always in the house doing nothing. She's also paying for the housekeeper, everything. So she she takes a moment, pauses, and she doesn't tell anyone that all this has been happening. She was doing it behind closed door, letting Alex look like the man that he is. And at the end of the day, she felt like she was doing a solid for the relationship. So on the next episode, I want us to look at when she started asking herself the difficult question. Not because love disappeared, but because really reality slowly, entered the room. And also there are some things that Alex did that now were making Victoria open her eyes and see, wow, this is just too wrong. I rushed into this. I didn't tell anybody. I don't even know what this person is doing, but I'm living with a stranger in my house that I love. And that was the dilemma Victoria had. So in the next episode, I'm going to talk about those things, and I'm going to continue with the story. And I hope you guys are picking up from this and learning a few things. And we're going to share what the learnings that we get from this story. But until then, take care of yourself. Keep choosing peace. Keep choosing growth, as I usually say. And most importantly, keep choosing yourself. I'll see you next time for another Coffee with Dee. Thanks, guys.